probably you know that out of 8 assignment, we are considering 6 assignments for the final score actually when we are talking about that certification. So, that is the only opportunity or only chance I will say, and we are giving sufficient time for submission of assignment. So, just keep watch on the deadlines for assignment submission, and the another thing that is out of it we are considering 6 assignments for the final score. So, just keep these two things in mind and just schedule your prioritize your things so that you will not miss on the certification from NPTEL. Okay. Okay, next question is like, and this question is asked by many people that what kind of IP probably Flipkart may be having actually. So, just think over, just go through 6 that weeks actually where we are covering all major 4 types of IPs we are covering by 6 week, we end of a week 6 actually. So, just go through that, we have just covered now I guess 4 weeks in that way. Week 5 is just like made available, and then we will talk about this what kind of IP Flipkart probably is having, because then I guess that will be the right time to discuss this particular, because this is a kind of a case study that Flipkart and IP management. So, we will discuss that when we will have a second live session, in that we will discuss that particular thing. Next is like the question is like that. That I have a question related to trademark. Trademark is in category of IP protection. Okay. So, yeah, please visit lecture 3 again I will say, because there you will get the strengthen the concept of different types of IPs, and then visit trademark week, complete 5 sessions are there. But okay, to answer your question, yes, trademark is a type of IP, and we know that there are 8 types of IP: patent, industrial design, a trademark, copyright, protection of plant varieties, farmers right, semiconductor layout design, geographical indication is there, trade secret is there. So, these are the main 8 types of IPs, and then there is a aligned things are there. We have talked about this in a course actually in the lecture 3. Just visit. To answer your question, trademark is a type of IP, and it is a very important type of IP when we are talking about organizations. Okay. Next, whether IP is a unitary body that govern the IPR throughout the world, like you know. So, the answer is yes. IP is not the unitary body, WIPO is that body, that is a World Intellectual Property Organization, and this is like a you know, it is like a coming under the it is a kind of a one of the associated, or it is a part of I should say, that is the right wording. So, WIPO is a like coming under that it is in Geneva, and that is like governing yes IP related activities throughout the world actually. So, Paris Convention probably you know that there are 179 countries are the signatories, and when we are talking about a WIPO, there is like all these countries are like following TRIPS guidelines. Based on the TRIPS guidelines, these IP related acts are enacted by every government in the world actually. So, we are following that guidelines of TRIPS, and yes, WIPO is the one which is governing, controlling and timelines and everything. Means I should not compare it, but I am just giving you idea that when we are talking about law, we are a little bit skeptical about the timelines, but please remember, when we are talking about intellectual property, timelines are strict. And why this is possible? Because yes, this WIPO is there which is taking care of the activities, and every timeline is followed perfectly, and if we miss that timelines, we are losing on our IP. So, we have to be very careful when we are talking. So, definitely thanks to this WIPO who is taking care of this IP related activities at international level. Okay, next, I have recently read an article where one of the best doctors in India said, okay, this is something I will read this question, said insulin is not effective, and he also said insulin just some this is not correctly means printing is not proper, is far better and doctors don't prefer it. So, recently there was a remarkable progress in developing a good method for a cancer treatment. So, how can Biocon be successful institution just as it earn a lot of profit? Isn't there medical corruption behind their success story? Okay. So, we will not go into details of that particular thing. I just share this Biocon story with the innovation aspect. So, we will keep that innovation aspect in mind. We will not go in all this other associated things which are happening in the world. We will not go into that. Our concern is that how that Biocon company, a small girl, 25-year girl, how she has started that particular thing, how that finance funding she has raised from ICICI, how it was like appreciated by the that bank, and definitely how that company slowly expanded and built like a giant. So, we will just focus on that, and now they are entering into the, I guess, vaccine production also. Biocon is also entering into COVID vaccine production also in, I guess, last week's note. So, we will focus on that. What is good, what is bad, that let us keep, that is not our purview actually. So, we will keep that aside. Okay. Is in the name of, I will taking next question, in the name of some product, especially medicines, there is a symbol R that may be called registration. Is it a part of IP, and under which IP it comes actually? So, probably I will say you have not gone through the videos of trademark yet. So, I will request you to go through the videos. I guess that is in the 6th week, if I am not wrong. You just check that thing. No, it is a 3rd week actually. So, probably that 11 to 15 and in that only in the first kind of lecture I have covered this R, or then I have covered that SM, TM, patented, all these things are covered in that session only. So, you just check that. Okay. But to give your answer, I will say that yes, R is like a registered trademark. So, when you go for a trademark registration, what is going to happen? It will be examined by the trademark registry, and then what is going to happen is like if it is passes through the criteria, excuse me, it goes through the that examination process, and when it will like pass, means it if it is fulfills all the eligibility things which are established by the act, then the trademark will be allowed, and we say that trademark is registered. And when it is registered, that R is put, and that is a very important actually, that your trademark is accepted, and you will see that once it is accepted, it is indefinite, its life is indefinite, we have to renew it every 10 years. So, you just go through that session and you will get idea about that particular thing. Okay. Next question is related to patent. Is it possible that we filed a patent in India, but we are not going to file a patent in every country? So, after some time a person from the US will file the same patent. Okay. So, the thing is like that, when we are talking about a patent, we always say that patent is following a novelty, any IP is following a novelty criteria, right. So, when we are saying that somebody have filed it, what will happen? After 18 months publication will happen, and that particular invention, that particular patent document will be available in the public domain. So, obviously what will happen if it is in the public domain, that novelty aspect is lost here, because already it is in the public domain. So, if somebody tries to file a patent based on that particular already filed patent, what will happen? In the prior art, whenever we are doing the novelty search, in the prior art, that particular patent will obviously come, and if it will come, obviously what will happen? Novelty aspect is the question, and if novelty is not there, what will happen? No patent will be granted. And when we are filing a patent, as we have said, that we are searching in the database which is covering patents filed everywhere in the world. So, currently we know that 120 million plus patent documents are available in the public domain, and when examiner, maybe US examiner, maybe Indian examiner, patent examiner, they are going through all this 120 patent documents actually. So, when they are going through that examination process, definitely the patent which you have filed will come across and novelty aspect will be questioned, and definitely this same patent cannot be filed by anybody in anywhere in the world. Okay. So, I guess I am able to answer that question. I will take next question now. Do companies need to file the same patent separately in different countries to protect their IP internationally? We call it as a, in patent we call it as a patent family. So, the question, I repeat question so that everybody can answer, because that is not covered anywhere in the course. It says that do companies need to file the same patent separately in different countries to protect their IP internationally? Answer is yes. So, the thing is like that, when we are talking about I guess we are running out of time. I will just finish that question and then probably we have to stop. So, the answer to your query is like this, that we are having a patent family. What is the meaning of that? So, again I will take an example of a big giant like Siemens or Philips. You take an example of this company, and suppose Siemens, you know that the appliances which are created by these organizations are available in across globe. Okay. So, what will happen? Probably the reason that as their market is there in like globe, say 100 countries, they will require protection in 100 countries, right? Take an example, suppose. So, they have to file their patent in 100 countries. So, same patent they will file it in 100 countries, and we call it as a single patent filed in 100 countries. We call it as a patent family. Okay. And yes, that examination and everything according to the country specific patent law, that will happen. Same thing with a trademark. So, if that particular washing machine or particular appliance, it is there in a 100 countries obviously, and if they have name that particular machine in a particular some kind of they have trademark they have created around that, obviously that trademark also they have to kind of protect in that 100 countries. So, in that way obviously what will happen, that they have to protect that particular IP in that all 100 countries. That is the scenario. I guess there are few more questions actually, but I should stop, and I should make a special mention, because I was just going through the forum. I should make a special mention of Mr. Ranveer and Abhinav from BHEL. Ranveer, I guess he is from he is a mechanical engineering graduate, and independently he is working on green hydrogen and fuel actually. So, I am thankful to both of you, Ranveer and Abhinav. Abhinav Kumar, yeah, Abhinav Kumar has some question about innovation also, but yeah, we have to stop here. We can just deal with that question related to innovation in the next session. And thank you for active participation in the forum, and please do write us, and we will definitely answer all your queries. Thank you so much.